Hi, my name is Bethany Blake, and I use she, her pronouns. I think the most important part of being Black to me is kind of my history with it. So for me, it started with my father. He's an immigrant from Jamaica, and so I decided to make a piece, a reproduction of a picture that he had when I was growing up before I ever really got in tune with Jamaica, before I had ever visited. Growing up, I felt American, living in the Midwest. I hadn't really traveled outside of the Midwest up until I was a teenager. And seeing this picture of my dad with his form group in Jamaica, experiencing a completely different life, completely different circumstances, it really kind of changed my perspective of my own identity. And when I went to Jamaica and started getting in touch with that, it changed my agency as well. And so I feel like through our art, we have to kind of get in touch with what is really there and what really directly affects us. And I think that seeing more of that could allow for a different variety of Blackness being depicted within our art that we are presenting to the public. This piece in general, Jamaica College, is a really interesting take on Blackness without the American lens. When I went to Jamaica for the first time, it seemed as though the American lens and everything I knew was disrupted for the first time. And I've been to other countries such as Japan, and where the American sort of experience is very much removed and you're just foreigner. And I think that this piece is able to breathe on its own. Of course, we know the nuance and the context of why these people were here, but it was a school being run by Black people, for Black people, with a lot of Chinese immigrants as well. And I think that this piece serves as a place for Blackness to exist without it being a response to white oppression. And that's something that's really important to me. I think it's progressive that we're making art in spite of being told what we can and cannot do. And I think that is something to pay attention to, especially instead of just making work as a response to this ugliness we're sort of faced with on the daily. If we can kind of pick those moments where we're in control, it's not as a response to hate. I think that that's really interesting, and it's something that we can choose to, sort of do. We deserve autonomy on our art.